All right, into the next. Time for the trial, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think is gonna happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended on a giant mystery. That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Yeah, of course. I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was determination. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. She doesn't know. Ooh. Hey, pal. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Oh. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this'll help. What did you just give me? Performance-enhancing drugs? Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me you don't remember this thing. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. Doing Maggie dirty with the Redditor voice. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie. I think I was doing it too in the last game. She just came off like that because she was like a by the book cop, and I was like, that just feels right for her character. And then going into this game, she has so much more personality, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I might have fumbled by doing the Redditor voice. But it's too late. She already has the character like trait. You know what I mean? I can't just switch it up now. I can't give her Adrian's voice. Also, my range for female voices are just generally very low. They're very short. Okay, I can't. I got like 3 female voices and they all sound the same. I have to switch it up somehow. This is the small bottle that ended up in Trey Bian's kitchen a couple of days ago. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor. Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. We finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So, what is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication. Medication? Wait a minute. Oh! Oh! We got the ear topical medication for the case that we missed out on the last time. For ears, you mean? Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Elg's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Ooh. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but that's gonna weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today. Got it? No one's going to be able to impregnate my defense. Today, I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done. Or my name isn't Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. January 8th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Alright, let's get it started. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Here we go. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. He didn't even have a new shtick every time we do this. It's just still the coffee slide into the hand. To have aura, you have to have more than one gimmick too, bro. You can't just be like... I'm not gonna get into it. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. Who has more aura, Heath Ledger Joker or Christian Bale Batman? Ooh. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Oh, Phoenix with his aura. Okay, I feel you. Good. No. This is just a little misunderstanding. The amount of glazing you were doing before this point made me believe that. So don't act like it's crazy to believe that you were glazing Godot for like the 999th time. But ooh, Heath Ledger Joker or Christian Bale Bat. I ain't gonna lie, Heath Ledger Joker is undefeated. No cap. They both got mad aura, but I think Heath Ledger Joker might take it. I ain't gonna lie. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his ear. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? And then look at you, bro. And just in time for the music to play, too. Godot got more than both, but Joker up there. I'm about to turn the stream off. Glaze astronomical. Ha! Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning and we must turn with it. The fuck is he talking about, bro? He don't even know what he's saying. He just saying shit. He just up here just talking, bro. That's all it is. You've lost me already, Mr. Godot. He even lost the judge. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Trying to pick up where he left off, like I didn't ice his ass. Only losers think like that. Ah, and you're not one of them. I feel you. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles. The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off the scent. And today, I'll prove it. Very well. Let the first witness take the stand. And you are?
Oh, bonjour, everyone. I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and the head chef at La Tribulations restaurant. Enchanté.
Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman? Cancelled.
Ooh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am la pert and perky gentleman, non?
On the day of the incident, you were in the Tribulations kitchen. Isn't that right?
With you, monsieur. Everything feels right.
Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Ha! Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Glaze. Very well. Your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Tribune.
Oui, volunteers. When it all happened, there was 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with the new art deco that day. Like having a large mirror between la tables, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what la old man was looking at. La cup, la earpiece, and la glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, no?
Mirror? Phoenix glazing him too, twin. You just mad you can't farm like him. Like look what I have to read. Like look what I'm reading right now, bro. Look what I'm reading right now. Everybody on YouTube who's gonna watch this now and in the future, look where I'm going. Look what I'm going through right now. Like look at this, bro. This is ridiculous. I mean, bro, this is astronomical. I don't think I've seen a Krispy Kreme glazed more than that man. Mirror. Also, he was making an observation. Like, you got to take that into account. It's like looking at, it's like acknowledging. See, this is what people don't understand, is like acknowledging someone has, like, you know what I'm saying, like has a feature that could attribute to aura, but not outright saying he has aura. Krispy Kreme minus a, you got it. You got it.
Oui, un gran mirror. La most enormous mirror.
He don't even stand straight. And suddenly the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me right now. I agree. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Please, let me. We're pressing everything. Let's talk about it. Only 2 people in your restaurant, huh? And who were the 2 customers exactly?
My, of course, the young man who died.
He don't stand straight. That's one of the funniest things I've heard today. I had like 60 aura.
And the other, not so young man.
You are referring to yesterday's witness, I presume. What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence.
We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we?
I guess I'll have to try a different approach for the time being.
I remember I was experimenting with it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. You were experimenting with Art Deco? How come I never heard about that before today?
You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur?
Please stay on topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before?
But I didn't. Just a few moments ago. But I did, just a few moments ago.
Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decorateur? No, Art Deco. It is a style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design. Walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing. Ah, yes, of course, that deco.
I was trying to achieve a more la femme look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of la decor.
Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example, okay? How big of a mirror are we talking about here?
Oof, something about 4 meters wide and, about 2 meters high?
Let's see, if 1 meter is about 1 yard. Holy glass in a frame, that's huge!
I was intending to install it in the ceiling. Install it on the ceiling eventually.
The ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember.
No, but I decided not to go through with it in the end.
What should I do? I had to press harder. Every time they ask me that, like I'm not gonna let it, like I'm just gonna leave it be. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, somebody would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies.
But
you didn't ask, Trat. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work. What? A mirror was delivered to Tribune the day before the incident. Really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes, and as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Tribune, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. Ha! If you want to doubt someone, try and look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror.
Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at.
Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object. Objection! Like, bro, take the voice changer off. Normally? How does normality come into this? That's lame, Tripe, even for you. Huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask guy over here? Well, Trite? This guy can't be for real, bro. Like, he just be saying shit. Like, he just be saying stuff. He just be hoping something lands. I do not have a top knot. Mr. Godot is correct. And look at this guy. You don't... A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument.
Yeah, logic has won the day.
Whatever, bro. Everything? He would have seen everything in reverse?
Oui.
Hey, Nick, we should take a second think about what old CD said in his testimony. How did he phrase it again? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup with his left hand. I have Armstrong aura. Oh yeah, bro. You're banned. Actually banned. If he saw everything he described reflected in a mirror, then everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh? And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it? Ha! Or sorry, I have to put more aura into it. Ha! It's kind of hard to believe everything is the fault of a mirror, but do
Do you think old CD saw everything through a reflection? If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony. But that just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We just gotta dig deeper. Okay. So he broke the vase at his seat. He says $500,000. Trabian floor plans. I guess saying that he saw everything in a mirror could make sense if we're still talking the way things are set up. I mean, oh boy. Room for a doozy. I ain't gonna lie. Let's review all of our evidence. Mirror. I don't see a mirror. But they said it was on the ceiling. They say that the mirror could have been on the ceiling, but they decided not to put it in or something like that. I don't know. Hold on, I gotta go back and go over it. I was experimenting to... Yeah, I don't know. Let's press this again. How big of a mirror are we talking here? 10 installed on the ceiling? The ceiling? I know, but I decided not to go through with it in the end. What should I do? Let's talk about it again. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it, but there's nothing about a mirror in the Godot and Maggie's strategy. Or testimony, whatever. You didn't ask, right? What? A mirror was delivered to Trebian the day before the incident. Really? Okay. This doesn't add up. If a mirror was delivered to Trebian, it doesn't prove that it was in the... It doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant. Okay. So something about the mirror obviously is like the biggest contradiction because it just doesn't make sense. We have a photo of the crime scene, but like I feel like that's too easy. Anything else we can think of? Not really. I say we just try that. Save it. We can try on the two statements that we just looked at too. Let's try it here. No. Like everything has to do with the mirror. Like they keep saying it. It has to do with disproving what is in the testimony that doesn't make sense about it. Mirror, 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 mirror. Victor's testimony. The vase, the floor plans. Died of potassium cyanide poisoning. Death between 1:30 and 2:30. Do you remember this one's difficult, but you do have the gas on right now? Something like... I feel like I gotta be like somewhat close. I just gotta think. I think I'm lost because I can't figure out. Is the floor plans? Can't be the floor plan. It just doesn't make sense. If there was a mirror, because we can't just prove by just the floor plans that there wasn't a mirror. Is the contradiction not that it's clear that he has the left ear piece in, and that even if you saw it through a mirror, the fact of the matter is that it still happened on the left side. Ooh, let's go. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. So to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in the mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactement, you see, monsieur? Now that you think about it, it's not so hard, no? Unfortunately, that's where we run into the monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? There we go. Perfect. We cooking in this one. Order, Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye. This one makes a lot more. That makes sense. Just had to think about it. How bitter. Try it. You should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume? And I broke the vase. Sorry. Apology. Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony. Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seed.
The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And that's the most striking thing about, and what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg? Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man. Okay. Ooh. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear. Godot, you cooking right now? Ha! Well tried. That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever. Wow, I really thought he was old CD for a minute there. Godot's good. More glazed. What else? What else is there? Like, what else can I expect? Coming out of anybody's mouth. Enough! I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony. Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of contradiction you found is just a rash. What are you talking about? Maya, what? Oh, boil as in like the skin blemish. I'm like, boil? As in like boil water? A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears. Okay.
Oui, I can explain. Please, if you look at the plans of the restaurant.
We're still going with the mirror story, huh?
Hello, is everything sitting comfortably? Or is everyone? The mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant divided into two halves.
What?
There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim.
What?
That was the seat at the table next to the victim. That was where the old man was sitting.
No, that's false. No. We talked about this. Blueprint of the crime scene. X equals the victim's seat. He was sitting right here, he said. That's Pepperoni and cheese. Hold on. A photo of the scene taken from near the kitchen. Nah, he's not even in this picture. And I see no mirror either. Nah, he's capping.
After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. In what universe does that sound like a sound? He just completely changed the entirety of the case that he was trying to make. This guy just doesn't have, he just doesn't have what I have. He doesn't have the sauce. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror.
What's a naughty little coquette? I am confusing all the men like this.
Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that?
Volunteer, of course.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Just give me the. Just let me press already. Like, bro, I can't. Let's talk about it. The mirror in the middle of the restaurant. So run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct?
We
really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way. Look who's talking, Trite. Huh? You're obstructing my view among other things. But this is my seat in the courtroom. What are you talking about? Trabian's charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, Trite.
I tell you, monsieur, la mirror was there, in the middle of the restaurant.
There is only one seat. Okay, and where would that be?
Oh la la, look how you lean towards me. I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer.
Please, no. Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once.
I attract the older ones too, you know. And some. Shall I tease you too?
Please, stop. I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for that. Who are you seeing, bro? Who are you seeing? Huh? Who are you seeing? The bottom of that mug? You ain't got no date. Acting like you got somewhere to be. Get out of here. I bet she has mocha cream skin and cappuccino perfume. He's dating a God-fearing Latina. Yeah, and I will tell you, there is only one seat from which you could have seen. That was the seat at the table, next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting. Okay, press. So why can you only see the victim from that particular seat? My monsieur, it is obvious, no? If you look at the plans, you will understand. The victim would have been reflected in the mirror like so. If you were sitting at the table next to him, you would see everything, no? If you were sitting at the table next to him, you would have seen everything, no? So that's the seat old Seedy was sitting in the room on that day. When the poisoning happened, the old man was sitting at the table next to the victim. Why does that seem kind of odd? So we gotta press that. Sitting next to the victim. It would be odd. He broke the vase at his seat. Do we see it? Wait, hold on. There is a vase there. That's the problem. There is a vase there. Oh, you're cooked. Oh, you're actually cooked. Oh yeah, we got it. We got his ass. We got it. We actually got his ass. Yeah, okay, hold on. Let's save, but it has to be either the apology or the picture. Oh, we just got his ass. On everything I love we just did. Yes! Your Honor, Mr. Kudo's words yesterday strongly contradict Mr. Armstrong's testimony. This is the letter of apology that was written by Mr. Kudo, is it not? I realize it looks useless, Your Honor, but this is still testimony. Ha! I guess useless people are only really good at identifying useless things. What relevance does this scrap of paper have to do with the trial, Mr. Wright? Mr. Kudo's testimony is actually very relevant to the question at hand, Your Honor, because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. What? What piece of evidence? What's in the photo? Let's go! This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor. The crime photo? Yes. This photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Read the paper in your hand! Should not exist. Sounds like you're describing yourself, Trite. My aura is too strong to actually be affected by anything of what you're saying right now, because I'm absolutely cooking. I don't know what you've been doing. Brewing. You stick to brewing while I cook. Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is the something that should not exist in this photo? Easy. The daggum vase! There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was sitting, or that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not in fact sitting at the table next to the victim at all. Objection! Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly. Yeah, watch me prove how you're wrong with your own point. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Tribune that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Mon Dieu! Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. No. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary. In his own words, I did not touch anything else except the mirror. And this is gonna lead to another, I already know this is about to lead, though. Yep, down that coffee, big bro. We're gonna be here for a while. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear which he couldn't hear? Ah, you only get one shot in life and there's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trite. Then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. You're gonna be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? Yep. There's more than just one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table, and there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. The victim was a phony. Was a phony? Mr. Kudo made a mistake. What could it be? High key? High key? The victim was a phony doesn't sound accurate? I don't know, that doesn't sound right. The ear doctor made a mistake? How would the ear doctor make a mistake? Mr. Kudo made a mistake. I don't know how he could have made a mistake. Let's just go down this route. Clearly, Mr. Kudo made a mistake. Mr. Trite. I'm not going to save again because this might be wrong. They do this. You're the one who brought up all these contradictions. And if you're trying to tell us the old man just made a mistake, we can wrap up this case right now with a guilty verdict. How about it, Mr. Wright? Should I just declare your client guilty? Is that the best you can come up with? I knew it. I knew it. Okay. So the victim was a phony? This case is riddled with contradictions, yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. I didn't think about that. What? Keep cooking. What? Exactly, Godot. I'm with you on this one. Yes, the victim that Mr. Godot saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. How could that even be possible? Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. He lost me. I'm not gonna lie. So does the prescription say what ear it's for? Prescription bag, the victim. I mean, it doesn't say left ear. Okay. Order. In the court, settle down or I'll clear the courtroom. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? What did you just say? Trot! Are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo. Objection. Oh my gosh. Get real, Trite. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo saw was most insistent about in his... the thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was... The serving girl brought him a cappuccino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. It's so hard to believe, but there was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee. Objection. Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers at the restaurant at the time, but it's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct? Oh la la, this is the most difficult for me. Whoa. No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You were under oath after all. Was there in fact a phony at Tribulations that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day. Ooh. Okay, we're getting to the bottom of it. This has to be either the last or second to last part of the testimony.
Le victim, Monsieur Elk. He came to my restaurant alone. I remember that old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers.
Damn it, I missed it.
When he got word he won the lottery, Mon Elk became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. None that there was no time for Phony to do the acting.
5 minutes. Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all?
Pardon, forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted the mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later. I don't know, he might like that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oui.
For now, we'll hear your cross-examination, Mr. Wright, if you please. He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after the cross-examination. Let's do it then. Let's get it. In the restaurant, La Victim Monsieur L came to the restaurant alone. Was he alone at his table as well?
My oui. I saw him from the kitchen.
Yet the defendant, Miss Bird, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table. Ha! Unfortunately for you, Trat, yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite. What kind of coffee has he been drinking? It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet. Hearing Maya say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden.
I remember the old man arrived not long after him.
Okay. By old man, you mean Victor Godot, correct?
Oui, he often comes for my special coffee.
I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience.
Oh, you make me so happy, Monsieur. You are most welcome anytime.
I said it was worth one sip and nothing more. So old Mr. Godot arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. What time was it? Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Godot arrived?
Oh no, I cannot remember, Monsieur.
I believe we were told by a witness yesterday. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness?
The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10.
What? What? Time of death between 1:30 and 2:30. Okay. It happens within minutes, so I mean, I guess it still falls within this range. That's weird, though. Just after 2, huh?
Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, Monsieur. You are wonderful.
I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony.
Oui, Monsieur Judge. Everything I do it for you.
Merci bien. That's French, isn't it? I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood. He's even humming a song to himself. I think it was like the first time we've ever heard that old fart laugh. Let's press this. Are you absolutely sure about the time?
When I think really hard, I'm sure it was just after 2. Oui. It is the time I stopped serving in the lunch menu.
Quite right. I always break for lunch when the restaurants are serving their specials. I've been known to wind up a case early just to make it on time. Huh. I guess you should never get between a hungry Joe's and this lunch. Oh, would you look at that? It's almost lunchtime already. Witness, get on with your testimony, please.
There were no other customers.
Wait, I meant to press that. So your only customers were Mr. Godot and the victim? How many times do you need to ask the same thing, Trat? You'd never catch me drinking the same blend twice. Okay, then how do you drink your 17 cups of coffee in one sitting? See, this is what I don't understand about you, bro. Is that you insist you have all this aura. You insist that you were just a step above cool. Way too cool for me. And yet you can't even like keep a good story straight. I know you're not keeping 17 different blends of coffee in your pocket. You have one bag. Stop it. You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant, but you're wasting your time. You can't grind birdseed to make coffee if you catch my drift. But there's a hole in this testimony somewhere, I'm sure of it. Okay, we got word he won the lottery. Mono became very excited. Did you see him?
No, I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, yes, $500,000.
Presumably the defendant heard that too then, correct?
Maggie? She looked like a poor little frightened dove.
And what about Mr. Kudo?
The old man choked on some bird seeds that got stuck in his throat.
It seems we now have yet another incident on our hands.
It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred.
Okay, and what were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill.
I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur.
Sorry, what do you mean?
That is la renowned chef Jean Armstrong and the tragic poet Clarice Armstrong.
Clarice?
Oui, I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef in $500,000 of debt, cooking for a man who won $500,000 on the lottery. It is called Pourquoi. It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for the court.
Please, no. Please, no. Please don't. I'll do anything for you not to do that. That is the last thing I actually want.
No, there is no time for the phony to do the acting.
You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred?
I asked the old man to call from la payphone.
By your own arguments, right? The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so the old man could see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear. Indeed.
Bien, it seems the shadow of doubt has been lifted in Saiban.
I guess Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case, huh? Absolutely. Somebody was impersonating Mr. Elg, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all.
But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too?
She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember?
Ah, you mean that's when the phony stages act?
Well, know for sure once I find a hole in his testimony. Okay. I remember the old man arrived not long after him, just after 2 p.m. So he apparently didn't show up until after 2 p.m. Time of death was, that's about right. December 3rd. Hold on a minute. Ooh. Contradiction time. Remember, the radio announces this at 1:30 p.m. So there's no way that the old man and he arrived just after 2 when they announced this at 1:30. Oh my gosh, I'm actually cooking! I'm actually cooking. I just don't know where to do this at. Hold on. It was approximately 5 minutes later as the poisoning incident occurred. Yeah, he's capping. He's actually capping. Cooking! Oh my goodness. Yo, Guinness, what's up? Objection! I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong.
Koi? What do you mean?
At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket.
Oui, that must have... What? That must be the show Mon El was listening to.
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder... You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct?
Oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was at that time because I had just finished serving the lunch menu.
Get to the point, right? If you have one. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30. Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Ooh. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time.
None!
This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There is only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Let's go! Top 3 lawyers: Phoenix Wright, Saul Goodman, and Mayorga? Mayorga? I don't know who is Mayorga. I must not know who that is. JJK. The real Glenn Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer. and the phony Glenelg acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy? Quite a performance, Trat. You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. That one might have been that was kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie. That was hard for Godot. Like, I'll give it to him. What is this? Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it is now just after 2 p.m. The phony Elg is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg was, or is? I don't believe I have to spell it out for the court. However, at that time, the real Glen Elg was probably already dead. That's certainly the obvious conclusion. Nah, just look up Mahoraga lawyer images, their peak. What is this? Bruh. Reddit wins again. Thank you, Trot. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elg, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Nah! Alright, we gotta think about this long and hard. Long and hard. The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with the proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body? Before I tell you, let me hit that save button real quick on your dumb ass. Alright, here we go. Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Tried. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence? What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? I thought I had him with that contradiction, but he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead. I was gonna say he's turned it all around and blacked me into a corner instead. Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. L concealed? It has to be inside Tribulations. Before I got on that reasoning, so we have the kitchen and we have the underparts of the tables, but the only thing is that there isn't anything underneath the table, right? Like, we can't really actually see. We can see that there is stuff under the table. So where we need evidence on that, bro, and we don't have it. Uh-oh. It has to be outside, right? Inside? Let's try inside. It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Tribulations. Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you can show the court where in these plans, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. The exact location body is concealed is in kitchen. The body was in here. I see. Not a supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where is the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? Wait. Broke the vase, blueprints of the crime scene. Oh no. Oh no. Photo near the kitchen. Oh, we might get stumped here, I ain't gonna lie. Matches found for advertising. The victim's ear medicine. Wait. We could try this. I just got it right, bro. I just guessed. I'm not gonna lie. I did not think there was gonna be that line of reasoning. It's the only place it could be, though. Dropping by to drop the best fact about this case. Tigre's Japanese name is Toranosuke Shibakuzo, which translates to something like Tiger Boy's gonna kick your ass. That's kind of, that's a hard fact. That's cold. That's a cold name too. Could you imagine? What kind of gangster of a father and mother do you have to actually name you that, by the way? Holy cow. I can't believe I got that right. No. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. It is the highest quality only for me. Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Tribulations. Oh, quick. But I only ever use the bottles for my aromatherapy oils. But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. What kind of medication? I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elk visited here we go, y'all. That Mr. Elk visited an otolaryngological clinic and was given medication that day. W, I aced the pronunciation there. You can't beat that. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle match the prescription that was given to Mr. Elk. Ugh! Glenn Elk's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. By the way, I have a feeling I know why the food tastes bad. A, the chef probably can't cook, but B, they are stashing dead bodies in this kitchen. They should go to jail. They should go to jail, obviously, for murdering someone, but they should get double jail for doing that. Oh, nah. I know the health score rating from the health critic gotta be at least a negative 58 off of that. Minus 300 points off rip. That's disgusting. That's actually nasty. At which time the bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Mon Dieu. Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird, however. You were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. None! Oh yeah, you're cooked, buddy. You're done. You're done-ski. Order, this is extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elk? Never, I could not do such a horrible thing. No! What? Oh, yep, there goes the rest of the 17 cups right there. Mr. Godot. Oh, he still had some left. The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Less than 17, apparently. Then I'd like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I'd like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my H-deficient friend? Je vous demande pardon, please. You just hear me out. You must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me. Por favor. Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish. I'm only gonna ask you once. Did you do it? No, absolutely none. Let's hear it. You've got one shot. Right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you, as does my gavel. Oui. What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong. Make it good. This is your last one. It is true. I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with this because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me. Okay. You were forced? By who? I cannot say. I will be erased. Let's try a different question then. Okay. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table? Zed was... Ooh. Zed was another man. Ooh. I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth. You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. There's just one more thing I need to do. Gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the real name of the killer. Last one, the confession. Let's get it. Yo, we have not been fumbling that hard at all. I think the first one we did. This is true. I hid the body in the kitchen. Okay. Did you carry the body by yourself? Oui, I carried him, and I carried Maggie too. Maggie too? When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there. But why did you hide the bodies? A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me. He's already confessed as much. He might as well stop dancing around the real issue. Yeah, but he really doesn't want to tell us who the killer is. And sock it to him, Nick. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Okay. Had no choice. What, man, who was he? No, I cannot say. I fear for my life. He's really scared. You just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick. Yeah, you're right. If you won't tell me, I'll tell him. Why would you go along with this man? I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. Explain. And what was the reason? And what reason could that be, Mr. Armstrong? You know, monsieur. Yes. Surely you could not expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment. A maiden? You're a bit old to get away with that. And a bit too male. I can't finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason, so I have to prove it with evidence. But I'm not kill him, I swear, you must believe me. So, you are claiming that all you did was hide the bodies, is that correct?
Oui, that's right. That's right.
If we are to believe you, Mr. Armstrong, you must tell the court everything. You must make the clear identity of the man who ordered you to do this. He's already confessed this much, he might as well stop dancing around the issue. Yeah, we know. Okay. Let's check this one out. What reason could that be? Okay, yeah. So you are claiming that all you did was hide the bodies, is that correct?
Oui, that's right.
If we are to believe you, Mr. Armstrong, you must tell the court everything. Okay. I mean, we just at this point have to just show him who we think the man is that did it. Man forced you to do it? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Let's end this dance of Ring Around the Rosie, Mr. Armstrong. This is the man that you've been referring to. Ah! Who is that? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh, I don't know. Maybe a month ago in this very courtroom? This man is Furio Tigre. He's the manager of a loan office called Tender Lender. Okay. There's no point trying to hide the truth anymore, Mr. Armstrong. I know you couldn't go against Mr. Tigre, at least not while he had this on you. While he had your loan of like $1 million or $500,000. Let's go. A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you.
Oui, it is as you say.
Mr. Armstrong.
La Tigre, he told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't understand why it happens like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried La Bati and the inconstant Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen.
I think we can now safely say that the man who forged your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre. I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well?
No, I knew nothing about that. Make it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. It is despicable.
Mr. Godot, you will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that it can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. My goodness. 30 minutes.
What?
The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand, not a minute more. How the... Don't sit back and relax yet, Trat. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. Yo. Okay. This is the end game of the trial. Whoa. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's video. Alright, y'all, that'll do it for today's video. So, we kind of excelled through that case, I'm not gonna lie. We did a lot of good stuff, I think. And I told y'all in the last, I told y'all in the very last case, what did I say? I said, if I am able to play this chronologically or play this, you know, what do you call it? Back to back. If I'm able to play this back to back, I can get all the evidence usually in these pretty straight. I just have to be able to recall everything within like a week's worth of playing between like episodes and stuff, or even just a couple of days. And look where we are here. Now, I will say this was a lot easier to follow. I think because there weren't multiple locations and like 6 people involved and all this other stuff, like I feel like this one is a little bit more concise than the last one. The last one was a very complex case and I was playing it across like months. So now that we are back into the groove of things, I feel a lot more confident going into this last part of the trial. So anywho, that is for the next stream and for the next video. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure you hit that like and the subscribe button. If you are new, also hit that alert bell notification so you never miss a video when it gets posted. As well, in the description below, there's a link to the Discord if you want to join that as well. You can talk about Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games. You can talk about other games, anything that really tickles your fancy, you know what I'm saying? Anything that you feel like playing, feel free to join or talk about playing or talk about me playing or anything like that. Join the Discord, you can talk about it. Also suggest some games. I also posted a community post, I think earlier, asking what kind of games you guys want to see in the channel in the future. Because of course we've been playing a lot of the older stuff. So I'm kind of wondering maybe if you guys want to see some newer things thrown into the mix as well. We are of course going to dive into maybe we're going to try out some Super Metroid on the channel after Phoenix Wright's over with. But then after that, we'll have a slot open for a game. So some thoughts I had come to mind were playing maybe Red Dead Redemption 2. Of course, it doesn't really require us to play Red Dead Redemption 1 beforehand. It helps, but there's also other games that I've been thinking about throwing into the mix as well. But we can talk about that later. If you have any thoughts on that community post, go ahead and toss it there or in the comment section below. Let me know. And yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. And of course, I will see you guys in the very next one. Peace, y'all.